Loaded.
It's
There.
there we go. Good
Ricky.
morning, everyone. Good afternoon, wherever you are. We are so excited to hang out with you for a little while today. Rhonda Elliott, Bex Marie, and myself, and our amazing guest, Anne Jirsch. So, if you can, please like the video, share it out, go over to YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and like the episode today. It'll be really exciting. And so, we are going to go through a process today where we get in touch with our inner genius. And yes, everyone has one, even me. So, Anne, what are we doing today? How? Tell us about yourself first.
Okay, right. So some of you already know me. I've been on the show before, and I couldn't wait to come back because I love these girls. They are so full of energy, and like, gosh, they're there, aren't they? They're so full of. I love being around positive energy people. But anyway, in case you haven't seen me before, my name's Anne Jirsch. I'm based just outside London. I work with future life regression, which is a process the opposite of past life or opposite of regression. I take people into the future and the whole thing just really grew. You know, I wasn't looking to work with anything else, but this came into my life, and the whole thing just exploded. Really, it's ended up where we're everywhere with it, and it's really made some amazing change. So, going back a little bit, I'm from South Africa. Hi, I did a little tour of South Africa something a few years back. It was a gorgeous place. So I started off, I was saying to the girls earlier, my grandmother was a fortune teller in the East End of London. She used to read the tea leaves, and I always found that quite fascinating because I knew she could do it. You know, I knew it worked because I'd listen and people would come back and say, "Oh, Win, you told me this and you told me." So I knew it worked. Really, really fascinating as a kid. And I used to want to have a premonition. I really wanted to be intuitive, and I never was, not even by guesswork. Nothing happened. So I went in search of intuition. I kind of went in search, and I still do it today, try and learn more about how it works, the process. So I went off in search because it just wasn't working for me. Now, what's interesting is if you do something naturally, you usually don't know how you do it. If you have to learn it, you understand the process. So I went in search, and I went off back then. That's what we did. We went to India. That was the place to go. So I went off to India and spent a year there. And I went to ashrams, and I'm not very good at meditation. I know I should be, because I'm supposed to be spiritual and everything. But I'm the fidget. I'm the one that keeps peeping. You know, I'm just not. Yeah, I do try. I'm good at listening. I'm all right if I'm listening to one, but try and do it on my own and fidget. So anyway, I didn't do too well at the ashrams, and I was a bit bored with them. And I met somebody in India that opened me up basically, and kind of made me aware. And it was a beggar. It was really odd. It was a beggar who was sitting on a mat in Calcutta, and I would walk along, and I would see him every day and talk to him, and he'd tell me things. And I thought it was all new stuff and spiritual stuff, but apparently it wasn't. You know, it was thousands of years old, but in my naivety, I thought it was some new spiritual thing he was teaching me. But the weird thing was, as I travelled back, I travelled overland, I started to know things. I just started to know things. Um, and from there on, I came back, and after a little while, a friend of mine bought me some tarot cards as a gift. Now, I tried 2 times before to learn tarot cards. I couldn't make head or tail of them. It's like I'm looking at them and I'm trying to, you got the little book. Oh, now when I teach tarot, I get everyone to throw the little book in the bin. It's just like you get the book and it says when that card's next to that one, it means that. But if it's there, then and it's like, oh, I couldn't work it out. I came back. She bought me these cards. I picked them up and I knew what they meant. Something in me had opened up, and that started my journey. So from there, I happily worked with reading cards for many years, built a client base. But I wanted to know about past life regression. I thought, I really want to know about this. It's an amazing. I'd hear stories. You've got to remember, we didn't have the internet back then. So how do you find people? You could look in Yellow Pages or whatever. That's all we had. How would you find anyone? I couldn't find a regressionist. I'd hear these amazing stories. Do you know there was only one bookstore in England that sold spiritual books? It was in London. And do you know, they're now my publisher.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
So
that's
all them
cool.
years ago, we would go into London on the bus, save up our money, 'cause we were quite young, and save up our money, get the bus or train into London, and go to
Hmm.
this one bookstore, and it was like Aladdin's Cave, you know, it's like when you're hungry for this stuff, we'd buy a book. So I'd hear about regression. Now and again, you'd meet somebody who'd been regressed only once in a blue moon. And you say, who did it? Who did it? And then it was always the person had left or moved, and you couldn't get hold of them
Right.
for years and years and years. That went on. And then Denise Lynn, the great Denise
Hmm.
Lynn, I love
Oh,
Denise Lynn,
yeah.
she came over
Yeah.
and she did 800 people in a room in London.
Wow.
800, and it was mind blowing, and that was it. So I went and studied hypnosis because I knew perhaps I need some sort of certificate, and I started writing manuscripts, and that I was happily doing that for many, many years.
Hmm.
And then one day I jumped into past life regression. I was working with some military people, and they wanted to know something from the past. We started looking. I got somebody else to take all three of us back, and we didn't. We jumped forward, and this was we saw the events of the attack on the Twin Tower. This was 3 weeks before it happened. Now, nothing like that had ever happened before, so we didn't kind of understand it. We just thought we'd had a bad session because we didn't see what we set out to see. But
Right.
obviously, when it happened, we understood that we glimpsed it, and so we, after a little while, when we got used to it, we were very upset at the time. But after a while,
Absolutely.
we said, let's see if we can do this again. So we started looking at world events, and then we started taking people into their future.
Mm.
And the amazing thing that happened was you take somebody forward 5 years, they'd often come back and say it's happened already after, say, 5, 6 months. It's as if we were getting the future and bringing it back into our current consciousness. And that interested me. I thought, okay, we can get the best of the future and bring it back to now. We have so many years to struggle. Am I on the right lines? Am I with the right
Mhm.
person? What should I be studying? And to actually get that. So that was kind of my journey. That was my journey. And once I started working with future progression, my whole life changed.
Wow. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Mm, mm. Yeah, it changed everything. And I started to. What happened was I took a self help guru into the future, and he saw himself in America with a big TV show in this house in Hollywood, and he said, "I've got no plans to go back there." I went to America 20 because what in Britain you want to make it in America. That's the thing,
Right.
everybody wants to make it in America. So um, he kind of dismissed it a little bit. Now I took him forward, and he said, "Oh, you're doing well. I can see you at that point. You got a free book deal."
Mhm.
That I was unknown. I was completely unknown. If you're unknown, you don't get a free book deal. Within weeks, the biggest man in television um, called him up and said, "I'd like to meet you and make a show." They ended up making a show. He found that the actual house he saw, he found it in Hollywood Hills and bought it. I stayed there. It's amazing. And within weeks, I got my free book deal. So the whole
Wow.
lot took off really quickly. Yeah, it was exciting. It was an exciting time. So my first book was about intuitions. The second book was about future love progression, and that just took off. So I started training other people and thinking we're in a time when it's really good to find what we need to do now to make the world better in the future for ourselves to thrive in the future. So that's
Right.
kind of my mission, really.
I love that.
Wow.
It's definitely needed right now too.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
needed.
yeah. Crazy, crazy times. Yeah. Then I came to the newer work, which I know you mentioned uh, before we came on air, um, my new book. What happened was about 5 years ago, I noticed because I get a lot of business people and a lot of people come to me about career, and I noticed that their issues were changing, and what's always worked was no longer working. It was a really, really strange thing, but what had always worked was no longer working.
Mm.
And I thought the world is escalating, the change is becoming faster and faster, and
Right.
people aren't coping, so they're trying to learn everything. read everything, study everything, go on every course going. And it's like, it wasn't working. People are burning out. They're going crazy and they still don't know everything. So I thought we need a different way. So I spent 3 years researching and reading up. What do we need to? I usually do it, write a book in 6 months. This one was a 5-year project. Because I needed to find out what we need to know to thrive in the future. So that's what I set out to do. I set out what do we need to know. And so I interviewed some people that always seem to be a step ahead. They always seem to kind of comfortably float into the change, comfortably float into the future. I asked them how they think, what they do. And I kind of went into the future to see what we're doing in the future that we need to know now. So that was kind of where I am now. That's the new book, is the 10 strategies we need to thrive in the future.
Oh, so cool.
I love that.
So you found some commonality in those things that we need to do in the future from interviewing those people? And also, I guess you go into the future and kind of see what's going on.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I go into the future a lot. And it's also because when I'm taking clients, you'll find a similarity in what they're seeing. So you think, oh, that's going to happen. Oh, there's a trend. So you kind of learn from other people as well. And I go into the future myself. Yeah. And it was kind of because we're overwhelmed with data. We're overwhelmed with information. I'm talking to people. I gave a talk and I said I get 200 emails a day. Nobody batted an eyelid because they will get 200 emails a day. You know, everybody's overwhelmed. Our brain filters haven't caught up. You imagine 20 years ago, your brain filters haven't changed that much in 20 years, but the amount of information coming to you has. Right. So we need our brain filters to work better. Yeah. We need to be able to narrow down what we do. We need to specialize more. And in the spiritual field, you know, it's full of people with their toolbox. And it's just, they're on every course going, running frantically from here to there. And I put on courses. I want people coming on them. But I don't want people going on a course every weekend, just you know, just trying to cram in more techniques rather than specializing. So a lot of my clients are people like therapists who come to me and we nail it, what they're meant to be doing. And I think that's very important.
It is. We live in a very scattered world right now, where it's just you're being pulled in every direction. There's always look at this and look at this and look at this and don't look at that. Pay attention over here. And we don't know how to really fine tune our focus, and we need to learn how to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to narrow down. One of my favorite books in the last 10 years is a book called The One Thing, Gary Keller. And he really keeps bringing you back to what's your one thing? What is your one thing? When I ask people what they do, it's interesting when a therapist, sometimes I do intuitive business sessions with therapists. These are great fun. And I'll say to them, so tell me what you do. Now give me a list of what they've trained in. It's like you go on people's website, oh, I do Reiki and angel reading. And I ask them again, what do you do? And I go, well, I do Reiki and I go, no, what do you do? And it's a technique you use on politicians. You have to ask questions 3 times to get a straight answer.
Or most men. Sorry. Sorry. My filter isn't working very well these days. I'm so sorry.
You go for it, girl.
Absolutely.
So eventually they'll say, oh, I help women that have been traumatized, or I help kids that are struggling with bullying. They'll have their thing, but you have to ask several times. And I go, nobody cares what you trained in. Nobody cares what I trained in. They don't care. They want to know what is it you do. And then when you get to that one sentence, I help kids I help women that have, then you've now your speciality. And that's the bit I help people get to. So I think rather than try and learn everything, and I'll go and train in something every so often. I might do a course once every year or two. And it's interesting I love it. It's very interesting. But don't be on a course every weekend, and make sure you've got your one sentence and it fits your one sentence. This is going to be helpful for your one sentence.
Yeah,
that's good to know.
I totally agree, because I think I learned that from you last time you were on.
Good.
Figure
So,
out life.
so the strategy, the things I learned, are talking to really cool people who always seem to be ahead of the game, and by going into the future, the things that we need. And one of the things is what we're doing right now. You need your tribe, especially now. People are so isolated, working from home, COVID, stuck at. You're not allowed out, mixed with people. I mean, obviously that will go, but you know, we are becoming more isolated. People don't socialize as much as they used to. And I think we need to find our tribe. I also think we need, rather than what we've been doing in recent years, is just meeting people en masse, whereas we need people that are really on our wavelength. So once we've got our one sentence, our key area, then we can really get to your tribe. And I think I'll put a chapter in there on tribe. I think the tribe is really important, finding your tribe. And when you've got that, you might talk to them a lot online, but you can also meet up. And I learned a lot of this when I started teaching FLP. I noticed the fact that it attracted a type. You know, some people really get slipping around in time. As it attracted a type. And so the practitioners really got to know each other. And you go, oh, Shirley's gone to stay with Sam. You know, they'd end up sort of really good friends and get to know each other. And I found that very, very interesting. So yeah, we had the tribe. I think intuition's more important in the future. I think intuition is more important in the future. There's been quite a lot of research that we're overwhelmed with reams and reams of data that we can't process, and you know, and people at the top use their intuition more. That's absolutely proven in a number of really big studies. So what they found, I found this really interesting. The best thing is to scan the information, have a quick look over it, and then use gut feeling. You know, what jumps out, what resonates. You know, don't sit there studying every detail. That people who do that don't go far, but get a bit of knowledge and then use your gut feeling or see what jumps out. And I found that very interesting. I mean, you know, there's a lot of business studies into this, and they're finding that very successful.
Yeah, that's a really smart idea, because then you're only taking in what resonates with you, and you're not pulling in all the other stuff too. You get to just highlight, you know. We get so bogged down with all this extra information we don't need.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You know, some countries do it more than others. I mean, in Japan, they want every single piece of information that oh God, I really want to go back and work there. There's such amazing people to work with, but they write down everything. They want every detail. They're real detailed people, and I've had to kind of go, no, come back. What do you feel? What bit? Pick one bit to work with, you know. And it's been interesting. And in the Middle East, when I work in the Middle East, they like an overview. They're very much, no, just tell us that, just give us the bullet points. It's interesting. Well, a part of that is how we process information. So some people process information with lots of detail. Spiritual people tend to be heart-based, so they more feel things. They don't get so bogged down.
Right. Yeah, it definitely helps.
Yeah. I need to let one of you get a word in anyway.
We love it.
Listening to you talk. It's okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Go ahead, Rhonda. I know you have a question.
No, I was just thinking about what you were saying, and I was listening to your book, and who you work with now. You work with high-level companies who have started to value intuition. And I'm just thinking that intuition, maybe that's part of the future, because people have realized that they need that personal filter of all the information to get ahead, because otherwise you're just logged in the sea of nothingness, really. Filler.
People at the top tend to mention their intuition, gut feelings, hunches. That tends to be the norm with people at the top.
Yeah.
They tend to move fast, make quick decisions, use their gut a lot more. So when you interview them, because it was really lovely. I mean, high level guy from America wrote the back page for my book. I mean, that was amazing. He wrote the back page and put a really big piece inside. He runs a network in America, so it was really, really sweet of him. And yeah, they all talk about gut feeling. They go, nah, it doesn't feel right. Major feeling, but nah, it doesn't feel right. And that you can watch them do it. It's fascinating. And I think in the future we need left brain, right brain. I think we need information and we need intuition. And I think the combination of the two is what we need now. We've just we're coming out of the phase where it's all head, all logic.
Yeah,
that's what we've been in.
absolutely.
People think you're, Chris, I feel like I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none. No, that's what we need to get to. You need to contact me. We'll do you a session. We need to get to you. I love that. When I work with somebody and I go, no, I'm going to get you. I'm going to find you. I'm going to pull that out. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, don't be a jack of all trades, Chris. Don't. Really don't. Come back to it. What if there's one aspect? What if you couldn't fail? What would you do? And answer that question, and it will put you in the zone. You'll know what to do. What would you do if you couldn't fail?
I love that question.
Yeah, that's a great question.
That's one of my favorite questions. I throw that at myself all the time.
It stops putting stuff in the way, because what we do is go, yeah, but I can't do that. I don't know if I'll be good at it, and my family will laugh at me. We have all this stuff in the way. What would you do if you couldn't fail? It bypasses everything and you go straight to it. Chris, come back with the answer.
Exactly.
Now, do you think that maybe the heads of corporations also kind of are like that? Only they're not really afraid of failing. They know that failing is part of learning rather than something that's like, that's it. You know, do you think that's part of their...
Yes, some do. Some are going by the wayside. I mean, they will have to change if they want to survive in the future. It's a bit like the music industry. And what happened was that they refused to change. They actually said, no, this is how we do things. This is how music goes out. And what happened was a student couldn't afford to buy music. And so he downloaded something and sold it on the internet to people for pennies, and everybody shared it, and people started sharing it for free. And the music industry said, we're coming after you. And they hired the most expensive, the biggest, the swankiest lawyers. And you can't beat a million kids in their bedroom. I mean, they haven't got any money, and you'll never find them. And they had to change the way they work. So if you get stuck in the old way, it's not gonna work. Right. I mean, there's a lot of change coming, and the smart people, most of the big companies actually don't own anything. It's quite interesting. The ones, look at Uber, they don't own a car. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? You look
they own the idea. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they've got the most expensive app in the world. Their app costs a fortune to run, but they don't own anything. Airbnb don't own anything. Right. They just have the structure to run this, and so you think, and a lot of things are free these days. Mm-hmm. A lot of things are free. There's a lot of things. One of the big graphics companies. Just they had a very expensive package and they put it out there free. But if you need help with it, you have to ask one of their people. And if you want to use it professionally, you have to pay a percentage. But they put it out there free. There's suddenly there's a lot of stuff that's free. And the big successful companies have realized you need to do things free these days.
Right.
So do you think in the future that healers and people like us are more prominent? Do you feel that that's going to be a thing?
Oh yeah, I mean it's happening now. I mean, who'd have thought big companies would bring in people doing Reiki? You know, I mean they are though meditations. I mean that is definitely going that way. And one of the things I was going to mention today is creativity, because and big companies, people like Google will allow, say, I want you to spend at least 10% of your working day on creative ideas. I mean, that wouldn't have happened 10 years ago, would it? I want you to spend that time on creative ideas. So I was going to do a little meditation today, because this is a real nice one, and I'd like to share it. So NASA, it started with NASA. NASA wanted to know who the creative geniuses were in their organisation, in amongst their engineers and their rocket scientists. And so they brought in these scientists who devised a way of finding out that information. They did this test. They identified them perfectly, so it worked. And the test was very simple. So they said, right, we want to take this test and try it out on people. They tried it out on very small children, and something like 97% of them were creative geniuses. Then when they went to them when they were 10, it dropped. When they go to them when they're 15, it's really dropped. When they've gone to them as adults, it was something like 4% were creative geniuses. So we lose it as we grow, which is sad. But the good news is you can get it back. You can get it back. And some people in certain environments can create that. So I looked into and I contacted a guy, Chris Burrows Brown. He brings out people's creativity. He's a great guy. So I spoke to him, and then I came up with some processes that we found work. Now, look, we're coming into the time when AI is going to be a big thing. It's already taking over. We don't realise it. Do you know your bank will have a robot? That robot can actually read 30,000 words, taking that information and answer a question within 15 minutes. Won't always be completely accurate, but they're not going to employ people for so many things because the robot can do it.
Right.
They cannot do creativity. They're not creative and they're not intuitive.
Right.
This is why I think us guys are going to be the movers and shakers in the future. Robots can't be intuitive and they cannot be creative. Just for fun, tap into Google. If you see these lovely posters with motivational messages, tap into Google one day, AI motivational messages. Oh, they're so funny. They
I
will.
did that the other day when you said it. I did that. It's like, oh my goodness, these things are wild.
They are so bad, aren't they? They're so bad, they're funny. Because they can't do the creativity. So this is where and you know, they say everyone has a book in them. I don't know if everyone has a book in them, but I feel everyone's got something. And it might be a device to help people, you know, who are disabled. It might be you can make people laugh. It might be you come up with some, I mean, friends of mine have brought in new information spiritually that they put out there. It's not that it might be a book, but it might be anything. What is your, so Chris, I want you listening to this. So I thought it might be nice to share this and just do a little meditation. And I thought it might be nice just, to help you find your genius idea with that feedback. Yeah.
Right. Let me just mute the rest of us so we can make sure that we don't have any interference. All right, it's all you. Go for it.
Okay, make yourselves nice and comfy. That's good. And just close your eyes. Just focus on your breathing. And as you focus on your breathing, you will naturally start to relax. And as you relax, you'll feel your chest and your tummy rise and fall. And each time it does, you'll relax more and more. And just think of a time you were really relaxed. Think about where you were, what you were doing. And just remember how you felt. Feel twice as relaxed as you did then, and twice as relaxed again and again. And I just want you to imagine you're walking down a slope, beautiful green all around you. As you walk down the slope, with each step you relax more and more. As you make your way down the slope, relaxing more and more each step you take. You come to a beautiful field and you stop and breathe in clean air. And you feel at peace with the world. Up ahead, you can see a dome-shaped building. Somehow you know this is the dome of genius ideas. And in a moment you're going to make your way to the dome, and inside you'll find a box. And inside will be your genius idea. But for now, just enjoy being in the field and look around and notice the flowers in every colour that you can imagine. Smell their sweet scent. Feel the warmth of the sun. You can hear birds in a nearby tree. This is your special place. And just make your way across the field toward the dome-shaped building. With each step you take, you relax more and more. You arrive at the dome-shaped building. You reach out and open the door and step inside. And you notice across the room there's a trunk. And in that trunk will be your genius idea. Could be a book, a program, an invention. You might see a symbol. It will show itself to you in whatever form it wishes to take. So walk over to the trunk, open the trunk, and reach in and take out whatever it is. Take a moment to examine your genius idea. And if it's a book or a show or a program, examine it, find out what it's made up of. I did this years ago with my first book, and I had a peek at the chapters and the cover and the title. Is it something you can hold? Is it something you can open? And as you focus on your genius idea, just imagine it's out there in the world, benefiting people. Get a sense of what it does for people. And just allow the answer to come to you to this question. What is the very first thing you need to do toward your genius idea? And you can keep your genius idea and bring it with you. Close the trunk. Walk on outside. Close the door. Make your way back across the field. And come back to this present moment. That's good. When you're ready, take a nice deep breath and open your eyes. That was kind of a shortened version, but yeah, I hope you found that helpful. I mean, that's how I got my first book title, which was really handy. It's when I met my agent. I met him at a wedding, and he said, "Are you working on anything?" I said, "Yeah, this book, Instant Intuition, I only had the title, so I glimpsed it. I do it by doing a similar process." So do you girls see anything? Get an idea.
Very cool.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
Yeah. What is it, Bex?
Well, I saw writing a book on how to use the violet flame in your everyday life and what it means and things like that. And it was funny because when I first opened the trunk, there was bright violet light coming out of the trunk. And then there was a purple cloak, like a sparkly purple cloak that I put on. And then it was the book that came through that. And I could see the chapters on, violet flame in your relationships and violet flame in your business and violet flame in like all these different areas. Yeah.
Wow.
So. And the key to do it, like the key to get there was to work with it more, play with it more, so I could have more experience with it.
Yeah, I've actually recorded it, but I don't know how to gift it to people. I've put it on Vimeo, and I don't know if there is a way to gift it. Once I've sussed that out, I'll offer it out to your people. But I'm not good at the tech. You girls are better at this. I'm not good at the technology stuff. But yeah, or I could make a standalone recording. I've got it in full in the new book. But yeah, it's good because everybody's got something.
Yeah.
I saw a star with my name lit up. There you go, Stella. You go for it. That's great.
What I got?
Yeah. Hold on. There's a little bit of feedback coming from somebody.
Hearing that.
Yeah, it's a crackly feedback happening.
Mm-hmm.
Should we just go through and mute one at a time and find out where it's coming from?
Okay, I'm gonna go mute first.
All right, go ahead.
Wait, I forgot where. Okay, here we got it.
All right, did we hear it? Yeah, Rhonda, it's you. You've got some crackly feedback going on.
Okay, can people still hear?
Yeah. Do you have your earbuds, Rhonda?
Can you hear me okay, guys? I just like to give you a few ideas of the principles, what I found, the strategies we need for the future. So intuition, please keep focusing on your intuition. Use it in business, use it in your everyday life. But if you can use both sides of the brain, that's really useful. Use some logic and some intuition. That's what we're going to need for the future. I looked at the three brains. Spiritual people often come from very much from the heart. And that's great because you end up doing what you love, but they're not always business savvy. You don't always take the right action. So I teach people how to use the three brains. That was the most amazing thing for me. That was the part that blew me away the most. Three brains. Finding your tribe, finding them people that get you. I love that. That's a major one for me. And creative genius is a big one. And having a mentor, finding your purpose. There's some of the main strategies. So I'd love you to kind of, I'll come back and share some more, shall I?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Chris Martina, I think I need to redo meditation. I found an empty book. Or maybe that's to tell you to just start writing. I often get people to just start writing down loads of ideas and see what one really takes strength. That might be meant to just start, But yeah, try doing it again. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a lot of genius ideas. You don't just need one, but yeah, it's amazing. Very cool to do that. Thank you for sharing that with us.
No, you're welcome. I'd like to, as I say, I've got it recorded somewhere, but I don't know how to gift it. I'll have to try and find that out. If I find it out, I'll send it over and you can share it with people. That'd be good, or I'll record it again, because it is, I think, it's a shame to see people's energies so all over the place doing too many different things. I'd love people to find their thing, because when you do, you just really put a gift out into the world. You know, you are helping to make the world a better place. You know,
Right.
I love your Violet book. I want a copy when that comes up.
Well, when it comes to fruition, when it happens, I will definitely send you a copy.
Good, great stuff. Yeah, brilliant. Then maybe I'll be interviewing you.
Yeah, I love that.
What did you see, T? You didn't tell us yours.
Yeah, okay, I wanted something normal, okay, but this is what I got. When I opened up the thing, three three green dragons holding a crown. And they were showing me this crown. If you look like down, there was energy coming up from the heart to the crown. So I think it had to do with crown chakra and the heart, pulling up that information and how that would shine. And then we asked, what do we need to do or something? And so the first thing I need to do is swirl around with the dragons because they have an adventure to show me. On that adventure, I'm going to learn things. And when I assimilate it, then I'll be able to share it with others.
Wow. Wow.
That's amazing.
Lady, you're
Absolutely.
never going to
She
get
always
anything
has the best.
ordinary. It's not going to happen, is it? I love that. I love that. I love dragons.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
What'd you get, Rhonda?
I was in the forest. I got lost in the forest, and then I had a whole bunch of technical problems, and I apologize for that. I don't know what's going on here. There's a lot of energy around, so I don't know what's going on today. So
Yeah.
You got some visitors.
The great thing is that we can the great thing is we can go back to this, and anybody who missed it can go back and they can do it again and again until they find it.
Oh yeah, I often find out on the first one I'm just getting the hang of
Right.
it. When I go back, I often go back over it and get more information. So yeah, anytime you wish, just use it. It's great. You've been on YouTube as well. That's brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love Nancy's too. Nancy
It's
said, "Need I even say a big kitty that looked like a small lion jumped into my arms and Jackson Galaxy climbed out." She works with animals. She does intuitive adoptions and adoptions. So it's amazing that, yeah, I love that. Beautiful.
Wow, that's really cool. That's
Yeah.
really cool. One of the things that blocks this creative genius is worrying what other people think.
Exactly.
That's why little kids are so good at it, you know. And I put this in the book about my grandson who run around. He's got a Smurf. The Smurf has a fight with a dinosaur. Then they're fighting with the, little boys. They play fighting games, don't they? And then it's on the back of an aeroplane, and then the Star Wars character. They free flow. We've lost that ability to free flow, and we worry about coming up with something and they want to go, good, how stupid is that? And I found that successful people don't care. Everyone thinks it's stupid. It don't. Maybe it's a touch of arrogance. Maybe we need that. They don't care. They free flow the idea. And one of Google's main people said when she went there, she realised that she'd always held back on ideas because in one company people had sort of rolled their ideas, which come up with stuff, which you get, and so she stopped. And we've all had that. You work in the spiritual field. We've all got a bloke next door, our brother-in-law, going, "You go, what you do now?" You know, you're going to get that in the spiritual field. It's lovely to get that free flow. And that matches up with your tribe. When you're with your tribe, you can come out with all these ideas. Nobody's going to roll their eyes. And when you free flow in amongst it, you're going to come up with some great stuff. You might come up with some ideas that are off the wall, but you will come up with some great ones as well. And so free flowing is great, really free flowing, and getting back into that energy. We need that. We need the creatives. We need the people with ideas. We need people. You will have a ripple effect, and I love that. You come up with your genius idea. One little idea can change so many people. Like we've had this lockdown. Imagine somebody coming up with one thing that makes people smile. It could be a joke. It could be a cartoon character. And these days you can spread something online. How fabulous. Fabulous. Just spread something positive or encouraging.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we all have access to the collective, wisdom, the collective one mind, where we can tap into that anytime and pull ideas out. It's not like there's an exclusive group of people who can get ideas. Everybody
Absolutely.
has access. So we need to stop thinking that we have to chase these ideas and let them come to us. And I think that's something that's really, people are spending so much time trying to find what their gift is, trying to find what they're meant to do, chasing their purpose. Well, if you stop and you sit and you just be, it comes to you, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're all born creative geniuses. This study proved that we're all born creative geniuses and you can get it back. So we've all got that ability. So it's wonderful. I put in a few that exercise and a couple of others, getting back into play mode and you know, let the magic start to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw a post the other day that I shared, and it had to do with, you know, when you're trying to figure out who you are, it's really about going back and remembering who you were when you were a child, and that your purpose lies in that imagination and that creative, in, you know, creative energy and play and all of that. That's why you're here. So yeah, we forget, we lose touch with it. So it's about getting back in touch and going there, you know, feeling safe and comfortable to go back there and have that again.
Absolutely. That makes so much sense. Yeah. What did you want to be when you were a little kid? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. This has been amazing.
I've loved it. I've loved
Yeah,
it. Yeah, I've loved it. It's
appreciate
been
it.
really good. Really, really always enjoyable with you girls. You've got such great energy. So I shall find this on YouTube and I've got to find out how to link it to my YouTube. But I love it. Yeah, brilliant. It's always good to talk to you girls.
Yeah, we love hanging out with you too. We have the question though, that the big question: if you had to choose a song to be the theme song of your life, what would it be?
Right. My favourite song is well, I've got two, but my main one is Curtis Mayfield. Move on up.
Mm.
I love that. Just keep moving on up. Just keep don't settle for second best. Just keep moving up. I love that. I love that one. My second one will be Bowie Heroes. Anyone can be a hero. Everyone can be a hero. I love that. So I've got two. I'm greedy. I've got two.
That's okay. Have two. Do it up. You know, that's exactly how it should be. So if people want to get a hold of you, or if they want to, you know, find more information about you, I know we have the links, but if you just want to share it real quick.
Yep, AnneJirsch.com. I think my name will be on this. Yeah, do look me up. Look me up on Facebook. Say hi because I like to share a lot on there, and I love to hear from people. Oh, from South Africa. Yes, I must come back. I need to come back.
Absolutely. And your book? Do you have a copy of your book right there to show off?
Do you know? Oh yeah. No, I don't. Do you know what? I've left them at the office. How crazy is that? I've got loads of books. Hell no. Yes, I have. Under a big oh.
There it is. Perfect. So definitely pick up this book, you guys. It's an awesome book, and it's going to give you the 10 tips on how to be able to focus on what you're meant to do, right?
The longest I've spent on a book, a couple of times I thought I'd overreached myself. It's easy to read and easy to work with, but I really wanted to come up. I could see people really struggling with the amount of change, and I know the change is going to carry on more. Yeah. Okay, we got the virus now. There'll be other things. The world is going to keep changing, and we need to walk confidently into the future.
Right.
You know, we can't hang on to the past. Unfortunately, we can't. So we need to walk confidently into the future. And I've kind of been on a mission with this. I'm very, very passionate about this. So yeah, I'd love you to read it. I'd love you to read it.
Absolutely. It's definitely a gift to the world. So thank you so much for showing up that way for everybody and offering your abilities and stuff. It's amazing. All right, you guys.
Thank you. I'm loving listening to it on Audible.
Another awesome way to do it while you're cleaning or doing whatever. Rhonda loves to listen to her stories and stuff while she's doing things, so definitely helps while she's working.
I shall talk to you again. You take care now.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys, thanks for hanging out today, and please make sure you share this out. The winner of this week's Share It Out will win a session with Teresa. So if you want a chance for that, share it out, invite your friends. You know, we count the shares all the way through the week. So at the end of the week, we'll be able to look back and see who shared out the most. The winner of last week's Share It Out, who won a session with me, is Teresa Holmes. Congratulations. I'll be contacting you to get that set up. And I think that's it. Rhonda, Teresa, do you guys have anything to say?
I got nothing. It was a fun day today, wasn't it? I loved it. Yes. Thank you for that genius
fun.
spark. Woo.
Beautiful. I think Rhonda's frozen again. Well, we will send her love and hope that her Wi-Fi gets better throughout the day.
Poor
All right.
Rhonda.
I know. All right, you guys have a beautiful, blessed week, and we will see you next week. Take care. Bye.
Namaste.